The Digital Photography Cafe show is brought to you by Focus Pyramid, the autofocus lens calibration tool for your camera, and by ShootProof, the easy way to proof and sell your photos online.
Welcome to the Digital Photography Cafe show. Join hosts Trevor Curran and Joseph Christina as they chat about the art and business of photography.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This is episode 132. I'm Joseph Christina here with my co-host Trevor Curran. On last week's show, we discussed Instagram available for Windows Phone 8, Samsung to pay Apple $290 million in damages, and Adobe offers photographers a $10 Creative Cloud subscription. If you haven't watched last week's show, I encourage you to do so. You can find it at our website, digitalphotographycafe.com, and iTunes. Listen with the popular Stitcher, TuneIn, and Xbox music apps, or watch in HD on TiVo.
Joe, we are back. Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Turkey Day.
Yeah, did you have a good day? We're recording on Black Friday.
Yes.
Better than being out in the stores, I guess.
I know. Oh, my goodness. The family is there, and they can stay there, and I'm in the studio. And I'm happy about that.
I don't blame you. I hate dealing with the Black Friday mall traffic and road traffic and lines, and can't stand it.
Because really, some of the deals are not really deals, number one. Number two, a lot of the deals are so limited that not everyone gets them, even if you wait in line or whatnot, which is also stupid. And you know, the amount of gas you pay to go from store to store to store to go and, you know, shuck and jive around and hope not to get into an accident and on and on. You might as well just sit behind the computer and do some, you know, buying there, or wait for Cyber Monday and get some computer stuff or electronics. There's always great stuff on Cyber Monday also. So I am not a Black Friday fan, but nor are you. And neither of us are kind of shoppers.
No, I can't. I mean, food shopping, card shopping, like, you know, birthday occasion card shopping. I mean, those are like the two worst things for me. I can't stand doing either one of them. And going to the mall and going to all the different stores and stuff is like right up there with it. I can't stand it. You know, it's like I'm going all the time, you know, and I need to be doing something and feel productive, and wasting time standing in lines and stuff like that is not something that I feel productive doing. So no, but definitely. You know what? You're right. The Black Friday deals, there are a ton of deals coming through. We both have received a ton of emails this week. If you guys are in the market for any new gear, computers, photography gear, what have you, definitely check out the Black Friday deals. They're online deals. Right. Get them now before they're gone, you know?
Absolutely. There's a lot of good stuff out there for sure. And you're paying shipping most of the time. You're not paying tax if it's out of state and whatnot. There's a lot of benefit.
Yeah, there's a lot of great shipping deals too, you know, where you can get free shipping or whatever over a certain dollar amount. So yeah, online shopping is for me. That's the way I like to go. Right. It's the way I roll.
I know. It makes things a lot easier, that's for sure. And I'll just leave it to the girls. They can go to the mall and do all that stuff. I just won't do it. Yeah, but Thanksgiving was good. I spent a good portion of the week prior to getting the golf cart working because wanted to be able to, you know, take the kids out on the golf cart.
Yeah, well, your community, right? It's a gated community, so you can kind of cruise the streets in your low rider golf cart.
That's I don't know about low rider, but yeah. So we're equestrian, so they get to go and see all the horses and hang out and
that's cool.
Carrots or something or whatever they want to do, and it's good. It's definitely good. And the golf cart wasn't working for quite some time, and finally I got it working. So that was good. They're happy about that. And you know, I really wanted to leave it for them because like any other, you know, good professional photographer out there, the time that we make money, right guys, is during these holidays or you know, big events that go on and whatnot. Yep. And of course, so I had to go shoot. It was a 400 plus like gala type thing with, you know, food and hors d'oeuvres and music and all that down in Miami. So that's a good trek for me to go about an hour and 45, 2 hours away. So I got to eat with the kids really quickly, and before they were even done with dessert, I was already on the road.
Yeah, that's
heading
kind of
south.
neat.
Yeah.
Well-
But this is just the nature of the beast. When you are in the service industry, especially as a photographer, you are there for special occasions, and that's where you make the majority of your money. So to not go would be to take a lot of money off the plate for the
Sure.
month. There's no reason to do it.
Make hay when
I
the
would
sun
like to be
shines.
able to not, but the difference is a 9 to 5 or working as a photographer where you're
We have
basically freelance, right?
Yeah, you have flexible hours. That's right. You can work what you want to work. I mean, put it this way: if working the holidays wasn't financially worth it, you wouldn't do it.
Definitely
So,
not.
I mean, it's a trade-off. I mean, my wife is a nurse, and she ends up having to work at least part of every holiday. It's just the way it is. It's the way they rotate it through the ER and everything. And, that's to be expected. We just plan accordingly. Some years we do holidays with my family because we're local. Some years we do holidays with her family because they're a little further away. And if she's off and we can get out there, that's what we do. So this year we spent Thanksgiving over at my aunt's house, and my parents were there. My grandfather, who is 96 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, still with us.
Still kicking.
Yep, still with us. We all enjoyed the Thanksgiving dinner with them, and then my wife had to go to work. But we're gonna head out to her parents' house this weekend, so that'll be nice. We'll get to see that side of the family too. So
Right.
it's all good.
Well, we have some interesting news for you guys, but before we go any further, let's go ahead and take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors.
Are you frustrated with slightly out of focus images when you know your autofocus spot was dead on? It's simply not your fault. From manufacturer to manufacturer, and even lens copy to lens copy, there are slight variances to the exact spot where light is being focused onto the sensor. Finally, there's a product that allows you to compensate for those variances and make sharper images immediately. Focus Pyramid, the autofocus lens calibration tool, is an absolute must for every photographer. If you want to make the sharpest images possible, then you need to take control over your camera's focusing system. With the Focus Pyramid, you can calibrate all of your lenses on your lunch break. The Focus Pyramid makes lens calibration quick and easy at an affordable price. So give your lenses a new lease on life and take your photography to the next level. Head over to focuspyramid.com/DPC and get an additional 10% off just for being a show listener. As photographers, we're always trying to increase sales and profits after every event.
We shoot an event and have hundreds or even thousands of images that just sit on our hard drives.
Perhaps a better workflow would increase sales by getting those valuable images in front of the client.
That's where ShootProof comes in. At shootproof.com, you can have an online gallery for all of your clients' proofing needs.
ShootProof helps increase profits while building your brand and securing your photos without charging commission fees on sales.
ShootProof galleries display your photos beautifully while helping to streamline your workflow and automate more of your business through their intuitive studio control panel.
Once approved, photos can be directly fulfilled through ShootProof's various professional lab partners or fulfilled by you.
All ShootProof plans have the same feature set. You simply choose the number of client photos stored, decide what products to sell, and the price.
Try ShootProof today by taking advantage of their free 30-day trial offer.
As a Digital Photography Cafe viewer, ShootProof is offering a 20% discount off any of their premium plans by using promo code DPC20 at checkout.
ShootProof. Upload, share, sell, print.
All right, Trev. So there wasn't really a lot of news in the photographic industry, I guess you would say, this week. Just was a little bit slow because you have the holidays. We had, which is very strange, which hasn't happened. You have Hanukkah that falls on the same day as Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You got like two holidays in one, which just happened yesterday. Really, really interesting. Kind of a weird holiday. But yeah, there's not a lot of news going on. But I know you have some news for everyone, right?
I do, yeah. And unfortunately, this time around, it's not great news. It's over the last 6+ shows, Joe and I have kind of been complaining and joking every week about not feeling great. And, I was jacked up like 6 weeks ago. I had a horrible head cold and I told you I wound up going to the doctor. I got some antibiotic and everything and started feeling a little bit better. and all. And I know you've been battling a cold back and forth for a couple weeks now. I mean, tis the season, right? I mean,
Yeah, I blame you people.
that's right. That's right. We bring it down to you.
That's right. All the snowbirds bringing us the funk.
Yeah, exactly. But so during this whole time when I was sick, a few, like again, the 6 to 5 weeks, I guess at this point ago, the sneezing and the coughing and everything. And I kept, as I'm doing it, I kept biting my tongue, because it's
Right.
and it's just like it gets in the way and I'm biting and So, my tongue was kind of bothering me. It was a little sore and stuff. And when I had gone to the doctor for the antibiotic, I showed it to him, and his first response was, "You need to go see an oral surgeon."
Right.
I'm like, well, what kind of answer is that? I mean, but I've been sneezing and coughing. I've been biting it. I mean, can't you give me a topical? I mean, maybe I throw a mouth guard in my grill for when I'm sleeping or something,
Exactly.
I mean, what's the big deal? And he says, well, even if you've been biting it for a little while, he said it should still be healing. So you really need to go see an oral surgeon. I'm like,
Right.
this is ridiculous. I mean, why do I need to do this? I mean, and this is, biting my tongue is something that I've had for a long time. I mean, I can
Yeah,
remember
but you have a fat tongue.
I got a fat tongue, man. It's from all this talking I do. That muscle has been worked out well. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So, so I said, all right, and I'm going to call my dentist because, maybe he'll do something. So he prescribed me this stuff called Magic Mouthwash, and it is quite magical. It's this magical
Nice.
solution of lidocaine and Alka-Seltzer and I don't know, X-Lax. I don't even know what's in it. It's this cherry flavored concoction that is just awful. And,
Right.
it's like you rinse it out, you put it in your mouth, switch it around, spit. And it really does. I mean, it numbs your mouth up really nice. It's a prescription thing, so you're not going to find it on the
Right.
shelf. But if your mouth is all jacked up, definitely talk to your dentist about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
It works well.
They have something specially magical for you.
Yes, that's right. So, I used this stuff for a week, and, it helped. It helped take the soreness away. I mean, it wasn't painful, but it was just like a nuisance,
Right.
So I'd use it in the morning. I'd use it before dinner. I'd use it before bed, that type of stuff. Before any eating, it kind of makes the eating process a little bit more pleasant.
Right.
And after a few days, a week, it really wasn't getting any better. So I called my dentist back up and I said, listen, can you take a look at this? So I went in to see him, sat down in his chair and sticking out the tongue, and he's looking all around and stuff. He says, yeah, you need to go see an oral surgeon. I'm like, all right. So
Okay.
obviously this is something that I should be concerned about. So
Right.
made an appointment for the oral surgeon, went in there, he checked it out. And as it turns out, I have a lesion on the underside of my tongue with a little bit of a raised area next to it. And he was concerned about the raised area, not so much the lesion. The lesion could be caused by stress. It could be caused by anything. That wasn't
Right,
as
right.
big of a concern. It was really the raised area. And he said, I want to do a biopsy. So he numbed me up and shot my tongue with a needle to numb it all up and everything, cut a little tiny piece out and sent it out
Right.
for testing.
That's always fun, cutting a little piece of your tongue.
Yeah, exactly. You put a stitch or two in there. So for a
Right.
couple days, it was a little tender, but no big deal. And then a week later, I had a follow-up appointment and got back in there, and they told me that I have cancer. That I have
Wow.
cancer in my tongue. It's called squamous cell carcinoma.
Right.
That's the technical, I guess. That's what was on the report. So, basically doing some research and talking with the doctors and everything. The normal cause of this is smoking. It's chewing tobacco. It's
Right.
heavy drinking, not occasional drinking, but
Right.
drinking problem type of drinking where you're drinking hard liquor all day long, that type of drinking.
Right.
Those activities really increase the chances of getting some form of oral cancer. I don't do
Gotcha.
any of that stuff. I mean, I social drink once in a blue moon. I mean, if I have a beer a month, that's probably a lot. Never smoked, never have, never will, never chewed tobacco. It's disgusting. My grandfather, the one I was just saying, 96 years old, he's probably
Right.
chewed tobacco since he was 12 years old. And he's fine. No oral cancer, no nothing.
80 years later, no problem.
Yep. Some people just have
Amazing.
genetics on their side, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny you say squamous cell. My mother actually had that underneath her eye, like on her eyelid. And this was, I think, last year or something. And it just happens.
Yeah.
Squamous cell is not, horrible, and they get rid of it. And what they did with her is they did what they called, I think it's MOSE, I think it's called, some acronym for what they do is they go and they open up the little area, they shave off a little piece. That oncologist is sitting there on site, he puts it underneath the scope, he looks at it, he's like, yep, there's a little more. They go back in, they scrape off a little bit more, They put it under the mic, and then they take a look again. They keep doing that until there's none left, and then they sew you back up. And that's what they did with her, right underneath her eyelid, and she's fine. Everything is perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm anticipating, and that's kind of the general feeling that I get from the doctors. I mean, of course, they can't say anything until we do more testing. I mean, I have an appointment this coming Thursday with the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doctor. We're gonna, I'm sure, schedule some tests. They're going to want to do an endoscope where they, look down through my throat, down to my trachea, to see, because they're looking for that second site, that second possible source of cancer. So they're going to do that. They're going to probably do some CAT scans of my head and chest area to see if it has spread to the lymph nodes or anything like that. Then, of course, the results from those tests will determine what the next procedure is. But I know for sure I am going to have surgery. They are going to have to put me out. They're going to have to, like you said, they're going to have to cut a piece of my tongue out where this raised area
where the
is.
little lesion is there.
Yep. Keep testing and cutting and testing and cutting till ultimately they find the clear area, around the borders, and then that will be that. If all else is clear, then that's good. Then I should be in good shape. There'll be the healing process, of course, and I will have to go through speech therapy. I'm not going to be able to speak very well, if at all, for quite some time. Your tongue is a muscle, just like any other muscle in your body, and it's like when you get in a car accident, you break your arm, or you do something, you have to go through therapy to get those muscles working again. And that's what I'm going to end up having to do. I'm going to have to go through probably extensive speech therapy. Who knows? If they only have to take a little bit of the surface off.
Yeah, maybe not at all.
It may be very minor. If they do end up having to go deeper and remove a little bit more of the tongue, that potentially could cause, more of a problem. So we don't know for sure at this point. It's hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Get the ducks in a row and stuff, so my wife can, take care of things for a little while if I'm a little under the weather, But needless to say, I would obviously have a difficult time doing the show moving forward, at least for a little while. And, this whole thing, it's kind of ironic, right? November is what they call Movember. Right. And this is the month of men's health awareness. A lot of guys participate. They grow stashes. They grow, goatees, full beards, whatever.
Yeah. The Today Show.
Yep.
You see a lot of that going on right now.
Exactly. Because October is, Breast Cancer Awareness Month for women. So they made November Movember. And, and it's kind of funny, like every fall I usually grow the stash and like a little beard configuration there. I don't even know. It's not a full goatee. It's just like whatever, little more in the soul patch. I don't know what you want to call it. But, and I like it. I like doing it for the fall and the winter because it's cooler up here. In the summer, I can't stand facial hair. It drives me nuts. Right. But I figured, you know what? I'm going to shave it off because I'm going to have to anyway. For surgery, they're not going to want that hair around my face. So took that off.
Matt Lauer had that on there. I think he had a prostate exam on air or something. Yep. And one show they had a whole episode on testicular cancer and self tests and all kinds of stuff. They've been doing a lot of men's awareness, which is really good. I like that they do that because many times you hear a lot about the breast cancer, on and on and on, and you don't hear as much about the men's issues. And we have a good set of them ourselves.
We do.
So, so that's good. It's great that they do that. I think it's great that everyone over there on the Today Show have participated in it. So it's just cool. It's really good. I'm sure everything's going to end up being fine with you. It's one of those things you have to always keep positive with everything,
Right,
and just kind
right.
of move forward through it. And I mean, for you or me, we just dump ourselves, God, deep into our work.
Sure.
And that's that's how we cope with stuff. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say we're workaholics, but we do work a lot at everything that we do. We're continuously working. And that for me, I find a lot of peace in just working sometimes, just to get away from things. I work, and
Right.
I mean, I don't know if it's good, but that's just how I
you
deal
have
with
to
stuff,
find a way to cope with it. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, I'm sure that I could go curl up in the fetal position somewhere and start bawling my eyes out about all this thing. But what good is it going to do? You have to be strong. You have to think positive about it. I mean, I have a wife and 2 little kids, a family, a house, a mortgage, all that crap. And I need to be able to be around for it. And I'm not going to stress about it until I know that there's really something to stress about. I mean, I am taking this seriously. It's not something that I'm brushing off or what have you, but I can't let myself think of the worst right now because it will paralyze me. I mean, I won't be able to do anything. And I have stuff that I need to do. And I could be doing all of this worrying and being all upset and freaking out and everything for nothing. And it could be very minimal. It could be very surface. I mean, my feeling is that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now until we do further tests. And that's the way I'm looking at it, because in my research, in my readings about this stuff, it did say that this type of tongue cancer can be caused by irritation. Well, biting your tongue, if that's not irritating your tongue, I don't know what is. And I've had this problem, for a while. And a lot of that is stress related,
Yeah, sure.
As many of you know, 3 years ago, I lost my job after 17 years. And that's when I went into my own business full time. And it's been great. I mean, but as with any of our audience out there, you guys are photographers, you're freelancers, you're weekend warriors, what have you. You know the stresses that go along with having your own business. And, sometimes those sleepless nights, sometimes those waking up in the night. I mean, my problem is I would go to bed and I'd lay on my back and I'd be falling asleep. And all of a sudden, your muscles tense real quick, and I'd bite my damn tongue and it'd wake me up, and it was right in the spot where this lesion showed up. So that's why, honestly, that's why I really thought it was strictly just irritation. I'm biting it repeatedly. It never had a chance to heal. And, but as it turns out, it's not, it's more than that. Yeah. So
I could see that, because I'm very similar. If I'm stressed out, I'll end up clenching almost my jaw, and then I'll wake up in the morning and just your
head
face
hurts.
is sore. Yeah. Basically just from clenching so much.
Stress is a horrible thing.
Stress is probably one of the number one killers out there. Is stress, and people think it's everything else, but you see a lot of the folks that are in the Orient and they're living for very long lives. Yeah, it's some of the food. Well, we can go into all the food things and all the hormones and all
alternative health measures and
that these people are injecting in our food continuously. It's funny. Butterball said they had an off year this year, that the turkeys, they don't have as many large turkeys over 25 pounds or something than the previous years. It's like, so you injected them with less hormones this year. So congratulations, But so it's like, I don't need a 30-pound turkey.
No.
Let's get two 15-pounders or something like that.
That's right.
That's not injected continuously with hormones and growth stuff, as well as antibiotics and all the rest of the stuff that's slowly killing us. So but you see a lot of the folks are doing Tai Chi and all of these relaxation yoga and meditation, everything. They always have a better life.
Well, I got to tell you,
because that stress isn't there.
That's right. I got to tell you, I mean, I know you and I, we have both trained in martial arts for many, many years. I know I achieved my black belt. I know you did too. This was something that was a huge stress reliever. I mean, I can't even tell you. I would leave work and I would be so tight, and I go and work out, and by the end of the night, I mean, my body was loose. I felt great. It just worked out all the stress, especially when you're banging on the heavy bag for 20 minutes and stuff. You're sparring, doing some self-defense. I mean, that really helps to relieve the stress. Well, I haven't done that in many, many years. I've been out of it probably for 15 years now. And, that stress has to go somewhere. and it's going to
No,
manifest
absolutely.
into other things if you don't release it.
Absolutely. We did a show about stress and about how to cope with back problems and whatnot. Working as photographers, majority of our time is spent behind the computer editing.
Yep.
Whereas it used to be inside a bucket of chemicals in a little room, smelling that for
Which had its
hours
own
on
negative
end.
effects, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't too good for you, for sure. But yeah, so it's in front of the computer continuously. And we said, you need to stand up, maybe walk around, do some exercises or whatnot. But yeah, photographers, we do a lot of work when we're out there in the field shooting. But then the other 80% of the time, we're sitting around on our butts.
That's right.
We need to get off the butt and do some things that either exercise or something that does some relaxation. That is, like, for me, like you said, I ended up getting a black belt in Shaolin Kung Fu, and we did a lot of meditation, a lot of relaxations, a lot of katas, a lot of different movements and whatnot, breathing techniques and all kinds of things to relax.
Yep.
And I carried that forward to this day. People will say, "Oh, nothing bothers you." Well, I think it's just one of those things that gets ingrained in you, and
That's how you cope with it.
I have like a thicker skin. Things just kind of roll off my back a little bit easier, like the duck.
Right.
But I think that's just what happens with doing it for so long, so much time.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, November, October, December. It doesn't matter what month. Everybody. One thing that I can say is if you feel a problem, if you don't feel quite right, something's cropping up that doesn't seem quite normal, definitely go and get it checked out. Don't brush it off as that it's nothing. I mean, I do feel that I got into this pretty quick. It only just started hurting me and I went to the doctor right away. So I do feel that I am in very early stages. Of course, we don't know until we do the other tests to see if anything is on the inside working its way out. But, that this is the first that I've noticed anything and I reacted quickly to get it checked out. You have to do it, whether, men, women, get the mammographies, go and get this stuff checked out. I mean, it's definitely nothing to mess with, and as you get older, I mean, Joe and I are in our early 40s here. We're not getting any younger,
No,
it's all downhill from here. Right. I mean, you can work out and you can feel good, but the fact of the matter is, your body's got 40 years on it, 40 plus years on it, and things start to go. And you just really need to make sure you maintain your health and everything. And whoever would have thought I'd be saying this? I mean, I feel great. I feel young. I don't feel like I'm old and decrepit. I don't feel like my dad, jumping around.
Right.
I mean, I have my moments, sure, but that's the thing. This can strike anybody at any time. I mean, I'm definitely not one of the normal statistics for getting oral cancer, but it happened. And now it's dealing with it. So preventative and exams, screenings, oral screenings.
Right.
Make sure your dentist is doing those oral screenings when you're there.
Yeah. I mean, they say something doesn't look right. Take care of it right away.
Take care of it right away. Yeah. Because they look at a lot of mouths. And if they see something that looks out of the ordinary, then
they
definitely
should tell
go to the
you
next step.
Absolutely. So going forward, as they say, the show must go on, right?
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and take care of you guys as we always have. We're just going to change the format up just a little bit, right, Trev?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We're going to, obviously, since I'm not going to be able to speak really, and I don't think you guys are going to want to hear me, mumbling at you.
For just a little while.
For a little while. What we're going to do is we're going to prepare some content kind of ahead of time. Right. We're going to put it together, and then what Joe will do is he will be with you every week, talking about the week's updates within the photo industry. And we're going to mix in some of this content that we prepare ahead of time. And that way you guys will still have great quality content ongoing. And, we're going to plan for this for quite a while ahead, because I don't know what recovery is going to be for me. But for the most part, though, the show will be very much the same, minor change in format, what have you. And then assuming that I come through this all quickly, then we'll be back to our normal witty banter with the and ahs and and all that happy stuff.
With a ton of Absolutely. So, so we'll we'll be with you guys every week as we have. Like you said, just the show will just kind of the format will change a little bit.
Yep.
So bear with us, and we hope you continue to enjoy the show as you have for the last couple of years that we've been doing this. We're now on show, 132.
Yes.
So that's we've been doing it for a long time, and there is tens of thousands of you out there that we really appreciate you guys for, sticking with us, being with us for so long. Some of you guys have been with us since the very beginning, and internationally so. We have the people down the road that listen, to people that are across the large pond from us listening,
Yep.
to Europe, to Asia, to everywhere. And it's just wonderful. And the comments that we get from you guys on a regular basis, and it's wonderful. It's great. And that's why the show, as we say, must go on. We're going to continue to keep it going. And like you said, hopefully this goes really quickly, and you'll be back kind of 100%, 110%.
Yes.
And until then, we'll do it as we're going to do it. We're just going to change it up just slightly, but you'll still get both of us, and you'll have me at the very beginning. So
Right, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way to go for now. It's too premature to make any definitive, decisions about the show and everything. So we want to definitely maintain it. I mean, this is something that is very important to me. I love doing the show. As we've said before, it's a great way for both Joe and I to keep up on what's happening in the photo industry. It gives us a reason
Absolutely.
to do it. And it's, photography is something that's both a passion to both of us,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you still have all the behind the scenes stuff to do, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's right. I may not be able to speak very well, but should be able to do
You'll
other
be typing
stuff.
up a storm.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing all that stuff, which is wonderful. So if you guys don't know, I'm usually the one that does all the editing. Trevor does all of the work on the back end as far as the blog posts and and all the tweets and all the rest of the stuff.
Social media stuff.
So it's definitely a combined effort
Yes.
to get it to happen every week for you guys. So
That's right.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
We need to wrap it. I know we've been kind of ranting long enough, and a speedy recovery to you.
Yes.
If anyone wants to, send any comments over to Trev, please do so. You can send it over to his Twitter page. You can tweet it over to him, or you can send it through the show. You can call it, whatnot. So, but yeah, speedy recovery to you. I'm sure it'll go fine. And like I said, Mom's had that, went through it. It went really well, quick, easy. And the type of cancer that it is not, quote unquote, the bad type. It's very, very common.
It's
very,
recoverable,
very treatable.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, we are done. Let's go. Sorry for the depressing show this week for some. So,
Yes.
but next week will be more upbeat, I'm sure. So,
Absolutely.
Joe, if people want to connect with you outside the show, what's the best way for them to reach you?
You guys can find me on Twitter, and that's at Joseph Christina, and that's Christina without an H.
Yes, and you can connect with me on Twitter. It's at Trevor Current.
So, all right, everyone, we are out of here. Once again, another show is in the can. You can get all the show notes from this episode by visiting digitalphotographycafe.com/132. And don't forget to send your questions and comments to comments@digitalphotographycafe.com, or simply call 440-345-6707. Once again, that's 440-345-6707. And we will see you next week.
You've been watching the Digital Photography Cafe show with Trevor Current and Joseph Christina. Be sure to subscribe to the show for free in iTunes or through RSS. You can also listen on Stitcher and TuneIn Radio and watch in HD on TiVo. Visit digitalphotographycafe.com for show notes and to connect with your hosts.